Yo. Top of the morning, man. Yo, we back with another one. Number 25, I think. 25. Episode 25. It's going down, man. We've been around for a little minute. starting to seem that way. as we keep going, getting out there. Craig ain't here this morning, man. So we got the brother, the one and only. Born Unique, filling in. William Shaw, Coach Shaw. Filling in for us this morning. Man, so we just gonna get this thing flowing this morning, man. Nice, blessed Sunday, man, and we here. So if you tuned in, you blessed. No matter what day it is you catch this, you blessed. We all blessed, man, from the man above, because we allowed one more day. To crush the day, man. So as we just was kicking it, man, in the back, just relaxing for the cameras come on, we was talking about, just fitness, how it built us. So basically, building each other up, man, in different ways. And when you're going through something, you got somebody to kick it with. A lot of times, definitely as men, we don't really, open up to a lot of people and have them conversations, man. So I think fitness, definitely for me and you, man, Born Unique, fitness actually bridged that gap for us. It helped us open up to each other, express certain things that we might want to never talk to anybody about. So, we always come back to fitness because fitness is a part of your mental health, the way you think. We know people dealing with depression out there, stressful situations, and other people could cause them problems for you. Other people could cause you to be depressed, to cause you to be stressful. They'll bring their issues into your life. So, man, how we gonna get started? This man, bro, how you feel that fitness bridged that gap? The stressful days, the long days, but that bridge that gap between. We talk about me and you first. Mm-hmm. How you feel about that?
I feel like at times, bro, and definitely the fight that we going through, just starting a business, taking an approach in our life to where as though we want to do for ourselves. There's a lot of obstacles we face with. There's a lot of learning we got to do. So, and then we also husbands.
Yeah.
We got families to support. Yet, fitness allowed me, when I go in the gym, you see it, you go through it. Sometimes we'll just go into a phase where we just black out on ourselves.
Yeah.
Take ourselves in that dark place, to produce the greatest light, that exists before our eyes.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes we get discouraged. I get
True.
discouraged, sometimes you might get discouraged, but we there for each other to build.
Yeah.
Even at times we sit back, we be like, man, remember the time in the other gym, it was cold. We got memories now, you know what I mean? But they're good memories, you know what I mean? They righteous memories. And as far as, building up one another and men doing it, you know what I mean? Men building and encouraging each other and letting us know that we ain't got to backpedal. We ain't got to go backwards, you know what I mean? As long as we keep our own eyes on the prize and keep going forward. So that I think that's great, you know what I mean, that fitness allowed us to be able to produce this bond.
It definitely, it brought us together like brothers. We probably been together, actually, working together, doing probably for almost a year now, almost probably 10 months.
Mm-hmm.
10 months, I would say, 10 months. And to come from, someone you know but don't know, and then becoming yo, this is my brother. And to build that bond and the ups and downs, the struggle of life, and both of us wanting more, not for ourselves, but for our family, and times we wanting to give up, we ready to throw the towel in, man, this shit is enough. You understand? But then you realize, if you give up, what's next? What's next? So I'm gonna go work a job, I'm gonna do all that, but is that gonna be my true happiness though? Is me working a job and getting the check, is that the true happiness for me? Mm-hmm. Or do I gotta bite this bullet now, make these sacrifices, and that produce my happiness? Because when you're doing things you love, you never work. It never feel like work. When I go in the gym, train somebody, talk to somebody or whatever it is, I don't never say I got a job. It don't never feel like I'm at work. Because I love doing it. That's with anything. If a person loves doing something, they never gonna work a day in their life. And we always hear that story, for years, for Neon, since being young, when people tell you that, bro. So I think fitness, it bonded us, man. I appreciated it, and it helped us. It helped us in a lot of ways. We created so many memories, even through the ups and downs. We created a lot of joyful points. We could be we could go over this. Damn, look, remember we had this, and look how it turned to that. Mm-hmm. Look how this, and then now to basically restart something again. It's basically like a restart. And the restart is the hardest goddamn part, man, when you like trying to restart.
And not to cut you. And I could say that, bro. You definitely like the restarting of the process is something that we created. Yeah. There was so much energy and so much, you know what I mean, excitement. It felt like we was right there at the top of the mountain, and then it just like boom. You know what I mean? So I'm like, whoa. What part of it? You understand? Yeah. But you right there like, nah, bro, like, you know what I mean? I've been through this, you know what I mean, X amount of times. Yeah. You know, it's gonna be cool. Everything gonna, you know, some niggas be like, man, fuck that shit, man. You know what I mean? And just give up. So that's why we definitely promote when we say brothers building brothers, not just we all in there lifting weights and being, I mean, we building each other to be strong mentally as well. You know what I mean? So that's why we invite brothers to come out. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not just like, yo, we about to break y'all. Yeah, but for those that was locked away in the summertime, y'all got to enjoy yourself when y'all come out for the winter. We ain't going to forget that, all right?
Nah, but that's what, in anything, that's what I tell you. If you can't build each other up, then what good is it? Mm-hmm. That's male, female, like on all levels, because we all need it in some form or fashion, because we all going through life. We all facing certain challenges of life too. Everybody not handling it the same way. One small thing could crush somebody. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like the smallest thing could crush someone. Like, so I know what I've been facing, what I've been going through. I know like people would have like stopped. Like enough is enough. Definitely when they're not seeing the fruit produced from it so fast. Where it's not what the people might think the money is like just right there, it's right there. Mm-hmm. You just got it coming in because you say you got a business or you say this. They don't understand like the business expenses that come with it, that you struggling to kick out to do this, to do that. This cost, that cost, this cost. And when you turn around, it's another cost.
Word is mine.
So I don't think people realize that. And I learned that by going through it. I didn't know neither. A lot of the stuff, I know it had some expense to come with it. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't paying attention to like every single thing that's going to be a cost. Because I'm just like, yo, I just got to get going. Mm-hmm. Like, no matter the money, let me just get going. And it'd be hard days because, sometimes you want to do for the family. You want to do more. You want to take over everything, and you want to just own it. As a man, a true man want to provide and do what he need to do. And sometimes when you're not doing that, it crushes your world. Like, you be like, what the hell? But then it's like, do I quit? And my question always comes to me. Even this morning, it played in my head a little bit because, just rough days, times, a little bullshit, a couple of weeks or whatever. And it be like, man, bitch, would a job be the solution? Like, God damn, like, is that the solution? Like, okay, I can go find a good job or whatever, maybe. But because I'm like, would that be the solution? But to me, I know that's not my solution.
Actual fact.
You get what I'm saying? I can't. It's in my mind already. It's formed. No matter my trials, my tribulations, what I'm going through, no money, whatever it is right now. Because broke is only temporarily. That's a mindset. That's a frame of mind. That's how you think. That's just period. It's only temporarily. So now I'm back. I'm buckled like, man, that shit ain't going to be the solution, man. That shit going to help me pay a few bills. I'm still going to be at square one anyway. I'm still going to say I need more. So now it's like, okay, get more. You got to create it. So what we're doing is a wave through fitness, through health and wellness, through however you want to put it, mind, body, spirit, through all these channels of connection, the energy level, and this is where we creating our path, our life, because we have a service that's needed. Mm-hmm. That's needed. Like, we not robbing nobody, we ain't ripping nobody. We got a service that's actually needed. So all we doing is feeding our service out into the world, and we know what will come back if we keep feeding it.
Word is life.
You get what I'm saying?
Word is bond,
so,
bro.
Man, I watch you like you struggle because like you didn't go through this experience. So that hit for you was different. So I watched you go through it. You feel what I'm saying,
bro? Hey yo, but see, learning. That's why when you go through something, you listen, you learn. You know what I mean? You observe. You know what I mean? And you respect all situations, right? I say that to say this, bro. Down from the kids. See, we coming from all angles. Yeah. We ain't just saying like, yo, come in the gym. We opened up a gym and we want everybody to come and work out. You know what I mean? That's not our intent. Our intent, you feel me, because we been through something.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? And we've been blessed with something as well. And that's to see what we're qualified to do. Now, when we look at the world, we have a world that's bombarded with a lot of BS.
Yeah.
Right? So when we come with this energy that we come with, it's different. You know what I mean? But it's unique.
Yeah.
So when we calling people into the gym, in their mindset, they thinking it's just, the average gym. But it's not. Because we feeding each other, like you said, mentally. We feeding each other soul, you know what I mean? And then we develop in the body the look, the way that your character are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that take a lot. Because that's not what the world is used to. You know what I mean? This type of, and that's why we the shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it ain't no gym out there that's produced. I ain't gonna say that's not producing, but we on our A game right now.
Yeah.
And it's definitely for our community. But we taking hits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Far as down like it be set the discussions we have, even with the children, you know what I mean? We providing services to where as though the women could come out and get their mind right. Motherfuckers probably think, they be like, man, who do these niggas think they is? Jesus. You know what I mean? Nah, we just his brothers though. You know what I mean? We just got our eyes on the prize and we got good intentions for ourselves and our community.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that's what building is all about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when we really talking about building and we talking about, developing a certain lifestyle, man, I definitely like when you hitting them with health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm hitting them with, knowledge.
Yeah.
Wisdom and understanding, so it go hand in hand, bro. And that's really, really, really building. And even when we out in the community now, man, when I was at the boxing match, my cousin with me, she don't ever really get to walk, you know what I mean? But there's so many kids that, Mr. Billy, hey, Mr. Billy, you know what I mean? And that feel good, but we have to get our community to see that this is what we need.
Yeah.
This is the service that we offer. You know what I mean? So,
and that's the fight. I think that's the fight until a person actually gets somewhere. Because my feel that once I get somewhere, it's still gonna be another level I want to get to. So it's never gonna stop for me. But all we trying to do is we trying to feed the communities with the mindset shift of health, wellness, why it's important. And right, I did a little video yesterday, but I didn't even get to post it yet, because I'm just thinking it hit me because it's like, health is so important, and us building each other up that way and talking that way, because it's people that I keep hearing about, or people I know that's early 40s maybe, late 30s, in their 30s, a little bit almost 50, whatever the case may be, still young people, I'm saying, vibrant people that are supposed to be living a fruitful life, that now had a stroke, got diabetes, high blood pressure, in a hospital, can't barely walk, got to try to learn how to walk again, blood pressure is 190 or 200 over something. You get what I'm saying? So we missing the big picture, that health is the keystone to life. Without health, and this is what we're talking about building. We're talking about building each other. We're talking about building your body. We're talking about building your mind, building your spirit. This is the building. Each one teach one. We talking about all this is in one equation, in this one hand, in this palm. And we forgetting that health is the one holding all this shit up. If health is holding this hand up, for us to do all this that's inside this pond, it's your health. Because once your health starts falling, guess what? Everything else falls. Everything falls. You can't say, I was trying to be a good dad, so I worked 99 hours. But if your health fell, now you still can't be that good dad. It's the same shit. I was trying to be a good husband, so I made sure my wife had to pay no bills. But if your health fell, your wife still got to figure out how to pay the bills. You can't say, even that go for the wife too, the queen, the whoever else, the woman. The woman keeps always to say, they try to uphold the house, they keep us good, they keep the kids good, they work, they do this. But if they don't take care of their health, they can't do none of that neither. So we missing that part, because where has it became normal for us to believe at 30, 40, 50, 60, you're supposed to have these illnesses. The comfortability of life that we keep talking about. Everybody wants to look good in clothes. Everybody wants to look good with jewelry on. But everybody is forgetting about the inside. The inside. That's where everything is manifested from. The inside. From how we think, how we look, all that. So when a person's body start taking a different form and a different shape, you should know it need correction because you start disliking it anyway. But we don't. So when we go to the doctors and they say, here go the prescription, we just take that and go back and continue our daily life. Right, and so it's rough.
We don't believe in the reality of cause and effect.
Nah, yeah.
You know what I mean? For every cause, there's an effect, right? So now when we look at our people condition and we say, what's the cause? And if we look out the window right now, we look at how many fast food spots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How much poison is just in this one community.
Yeah.
So just imagine communities abroad. You know what I mean? So first we look at the cause.
Yeah.
Then we look at, you know what I mean, these corporations, you know what I mean, that get money, big money, you know what I mean, for us being sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to combat that with what we teaching and what we giving, there is a danger in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a danger in being healthy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's a problem, and that's the problem that we don't see as a people.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? We and then we busybody. You know what I mean? We don't know and understand our body the way that we should know and understand our body. What to put in our I myself, I'm learning. You know what I mean? What to put in your body, what not to put in your body.
Yeah.
Now I mean, some of us have certain addictions to where as though we like, man, fuck anything. I just got to have this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we don't care of the effect.
True.
You know what I mean? So it be and that, but that's the best thing, that you have people that's qualified to teach you on these things, so you can never say that you didn't know.
Yeah.
So when you land up in the hospital bed and you hit, your mind always remember, damn, the brother was telling me about this health, this information, and then they telling me this is the cause of my sickness.
Yeah.
Now I mean, they got so many motherfucking commercials and shit like that tell you every cause. You know what I mean?
What?
What you doing?
Man.
You know what I mean? So and we know it's hard. I torture myself, you know what I mean? But it's hard. And it been this way for many days, months, and years for us as a people. Now I mean, so once we get the proper education, meaning the proper knowledge, the proper wisdom, and the proper understanding, man, we can live a successful and productive life. Nobody is put here to die. That's a baby. You still a baby. When you 40 and 60, you should be vibrant. You should be full of life, because you got a next 60 years to go. Yeah. We live like we did already. Yeah. Now I mean, we live like we did. Therefore, we are lifeless people, and we got to get out of that. You know what I mean? And that's why we talk about building. Building is a process of understanding. Once you build, you develop a right, like, damn. When you start communicating with somebody, you like, damn, then you walk with them. You get to know them. You develop a relationship. And that's what we see, and that's the best thing about the gym, because you developing a relationship with yourself. Yeah. You building yourself up. You know what I mean? So,
man, that's where it's at though. And sometimes it's more of, I think we being ignorant though. Like, that's mainly what it come down to, and people gonna take that like a lot of wrong ways of me saying that. Because once I was ignorant. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't know. I just didn't know. I might have felt I knew things, but didn't know. Like, people now.
The knowledge to this, right? Ignorant, right? The root word of ignorant is to ignore. So it wasn't that. See, many. There you go. Right now, every time we on this podcast, you spitting health. Yeah. We spit. So a person cannot say that they didn't know. Right. They can say, I ignored the fact.
You're right. And that's the truth. But how people go, and that's why I put it in the mindset that, because people know what we spit. We can say it, we can break it down. But they're going to ignore that part, definitely. But it's going to come from their sense of, that's why I say ignorance, because they're going to feel ignorant to that anyway. Because it's what they don't know, and then it's good, the sense of nobody can tell them how their life should be. And we all live like that with that really macho on our shoulder.
They don't believe that. They'll go to the doctors all the time.
There you go. There you go.
They'll listen to them, but the doctors, his buddy, he try to get paid. He gonna put you on all these pills.
You're right.
They gonna listen to that doctor. They gonna listen to the deaf man.
You're right. And it's I think it's just something that, like you said, we've been through this for years, man. You feel what I'm saying? Of trying to, come out and express something to people that's basically new to them. This is new. In our community, for someone to be really like trying to push this health thing over a person is new. I watch when they supposed to change the health criteria for the schools, right? And if you go look at the school food that they still put in that motherfucker, you're going to say, what changed? You're going to say, what the hell? How is this more healthier for my kid now? You get what I'm saying? Like, and they said the school was supposed to have a new health chart, right? Mm-hmm. It supposed to came out. It been came out. They've been pushing this for so long. But if you really go check out the food that these kids still getting, that's why I understand why kids be like, man, I ain't eating in school. I'm going to wait and walk over to McDonald's when I'm done.
And if you don't eat, you off balance.
Yeah.
And if they go to McDonald's, then they really off balance.
You gotta say. So we know what it creates. And we had to learn, and we started learning how, when people used to always say as a kid, yo, eat some breakfast. Mm-hmm. The teacher would say, did you eat breakfast before you came this morning? They was on to something. You understand? Because breakfast is what the key, the nutrients that's going to be in that breakfast. That's why when they be like, kids go to school, he's so hyper, because you fucking fed them candy. You got them a whole bowl of sugar. You got them a whole bowl of cereal to go to school and think he about to perform good throughout that day. This guy or girl is loaded with sugar. So the way they brain about to work through this day is not about to be on that educational level. Mm-hmm. It's about to be on that dopamine level. Like, you get what I'm saying? That hyper level, that joy jump around. They'll not pay attention because of the signals that's about to change and be altered in that brain from the sugar. And that's where we start to miss at. You know, when we start, if you give up and you start making the kid eggs and a little bit of meat or whatever type of meat they eat, something like that, they're going to function better than the kid who's on the cereal. You give that kid some oatmeal without not the oatmeal with all the sugar in it, some Royal Cut oatmeal and put some fruit in it.
So I got a question for you. Right? Where do you think, because we could look in history, you know, I like history, you know what I mean? So we could look in history, right? And you was just talking and it made me think of something.
Yeah.
Remember when the Black Panthers, they used to have the breakfast programs and everything? You know what I mean? Because the intent, right? You ever hear when somebody say they cooking?
Yeah.
And they cooking with the intent of love? You know what I mean? Then you got a question like, damn, their intentions even at schools is not to really naturally love our children. Mm. So it's like, damn, when do we develop a solution? Now, I mean, this is a proper solution, is a working solution, but how do we bring others, now I mean men, now I mean that know and understand what we talking about? Like, we ain't got to convince them in what we doing, but come together as a collective whole and have that natural love for our community, because that's what it is. Yeah. As men, you know what I mean, and black men, this is our community. Yeah. These are children and these are women, and they're being victimized. So how do we develop a proper and working plan of something that we could go back in history and know and see the errors. Yeah. We could see the love. Know what I mean? So when do we take all that information and embody it and become that?
Man, it's gonna take a lot, bro. It can happen, but it's how many people is willing to see. This is where we coming at. This becomes, when you first start something, there's no money existing. Mm-hmm. So how many people is willing to donate time? Free time. How many people is willing to do that? And you're not going to get that many who really donate free time. And when it is that time, and you're going to get 100 people on the list, might agree. When it's that day and time, you're not getting 100 people to show up. 75 going to have excuses of what happened that day they couldn't make it.
So you saying time. Time. Right? I just like to let, he said time,
I figured people gonna make an excuse on time.
But niggas always hanging out.
Yeah.
Niggas ain't got no time, but we always hanging out. That's crazy.
No, that's what I'm saying, because it's like, see.
Nah, I dig it. I understand. I understand what you said.
And I look at it that way because I'm like, yo, a lot of stuff we do that we've been doing lately, like that we have been doing too in the communities and everywhere, bro. It been our free time, like our time. Like it ain't even free time. We created time for that, just for that purpose. It wasn't to get no money from it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't. We donated time to do a service for our community because that's what we want to do. Because I just feel that we feel and we know that all that comes back in due time. People might say, "Oh, well, I ain't got time to wait." I know in due time and every sacrifice, man, that you make, you're gonna receive something greater for that sacrifice. You just might not see it right away, and it might not be tomorrow. You might see it 2 years from now, and all the sacrifice you put in, it might just overflow you with the shit that you can't even handle it now. So, and that's how I look at it. But I feel, and the lady at a football game yesterday was on something like that about the community, what we do, stop the violence. And I said this. I said, why do everybody always first thing come out of their mouth is stop the violence, but not what's the solution? Mm-hmm. I need to know the solution. Tell me, because you can say stop the violence all you want. What's going to stop them from committing a crime or shooting somebody, or what's the dialogue to them? Not you going to go up to them and say stop shooting? That's not a dialogue. That's no interaction between you and the individual.
Because we never talk about the meat. It was if somebody say stop the violence, right?
Yeah.
If I hit you right now and you say, B, stop hitting me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is it cause? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if we look at the community where we at in Trenton, man, we know better. Can't nobody fucking play with nobody mind here, right? So the average person or the average young brother in the community, right, faced with so many problems before he can even make mature and adult decisions, he's faced with so many problems that the average adult can't handle, right? So now he goes out there and he's trained in the world. He's taught a certain type of way. We was taught and trained a certain type of way. That's why we took on this mentality, right? So now the child takes on a certain type of mentality. So now he's not out just violently doing these things ignorantly. He been taught, raised, and trained to be this way, right? Mm-hmm. Who taught him? Who trained him? Who gave him this information? Who gave that person this information? Right? Then when you look at it, bro, and you look at it, all of us been naturally taken out of a certain stage of our mindset. That's why it be foreign. When we talk like this, it be foreign because it be like, and then motherfuckers be like, man, that shit is unbelievable. We ain't coming together.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? But people came together to make us this way.
Yeah.
This ain't just pop up out of the clear blue. That mean like we've been conditioned this way. Now I mean, so if somebody come to me and be like, why don't we go out into the community and stop the violence? Niggas is scared of the community. You know what I mean? Like, man, I'm scared of the motherfuckers. I ain't going out there to stop nothing. But us going out there and we building and not talking above the people's head, but being right there, some people ain't even with the people. They ain't even going through what they going through, and then they come in here and say, stop the violence, or where's the peace? Bring it. You got to be the peace. You got to be there to be everything. You know what I mean? Go post up with the young brother.
Like, this the best because you never know what they going through. You don't know what time they got at home. You don't know what their home life like. You don't know what the bullying like. You don't know what them just want to fit in like. You don't know. You don't have no clue. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a lot of issues to address there. And I always tell you can, like, I don't disagree with nobody who's saying stop the violence, do none of that. It's not a disagreement. But what I'm saying is, we're the solution. Where you looking at the saying, after you say stop the violence, what's next for the kid that you're telling them to do? Or if this kid walking out of school and he going to make $200 right now, but the other kid got his book bag on going across to McDonald's and only going to get paid $200 in 2 weeks, what you think he going to stick with? He just made $200 in a day. He laughing at the kid that's going over there, but that kid going to McDonald's got a brighter future. We know this. We could put that together. Easy mathematics to put together. You get what I'm saying? But, so how can you convince this kid or show this kid or have that dialogue with this kid to show him that $200 going to expire? And this where you going to be at when it expires? Either one or two places. We know the streets only promise you death or jail. You know what I mean? So that's the battle. But this becomes building each other up.
Yeah, I was about to say the solution becomes, they say men build institutions. You know what I mean? And I always, you could give a description. You go anywhere else, bro, in their community, they got martial arts. They got programs. They got certain things. It's just there.
Yeah.
It's just there. They ain't fighting to do it. They ain't pontificating in circles or talking about it is established.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as far as us in our community as men, from all walks of life, from high to low, we got to talk and communicate. The old got to come down to the young and be like, young, and this where this now we could work with something. But if we don't build institutions, you feel me, it's just like shelter. If you ain't got no shelter, you just in the wilderness. You know what I mean? So we produce places of shelter to where as though we could put this type of information into our young brothers and sisters' head and into each other.
Yeah.
We just got to invest in places that where as though we feel free to love each other.
True.
You know what I mean?
That's like, that's for all male and female
Word is
youth.
life.
You know what I'm saying? And then, they in a different era time than us. So you have to address them in the era they in, the time they in. You could talk about how things used to be, how this and that. That don't exist today. So you got to use that stuff that we know, the knowledge we gain, and you got to give them a mixture of it today, because it's not being shown today.
Nah, it exists today.
Because
you'll be if you go. See, that's why history is you rewarded through history, right? So now it's 2022. Right, yeah. I'm 38. Right, we could talk to our mom. They could talk to their mom. You could talk to your grandparents, and it'll be passed down that the same conditions that we face with in 2022, regardless of how it looks in front of your eyes. Yeah. Black people is we face with a lot of the same shit. That's why we talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
We just because you dress shit up, it's still shit.
Still shit, yeah.
You know what I mean? So we might be dressed up, but we still fighting against the same injustices that we've been fighting for many days, months, and years. You know what I mean? So that's when we say what's the solution, brothers that look like you and I, what is you gotta grab your nuts.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? We gotta stop playing.
Yeah.
That's what we gotta do.
Yeah.
Because every other nation is doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if you got pockets of organizations that's doing this, why won't y'all come together? Unity is best when you together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the solution. Unity is our solution.
Yeah.
That's what if it was me and you in the gym, it's me and you. Yeah. We building each other up.
Yep.
When you add on 2, you add on 2 more, you add on another 2, another 5. That's a collective whole. That's a unity of people.
True.
You feel me? That's projecting a common cause. We have a common cause that say, yo, we're going to be healthy, fit, and alive, and we're going to teach others to be this way.
True.
Then that's providing a solution.
True.
You got brothers and sisters that go to college. They could come back and be like, man, look, this is what I learned in college.
Yeah.
This is what and then you build your people up.
Yeah, that's definitely a fact. And that's what we face with, though. That's what we face with. And like I said, it's all, everybody got an opinion, gonna have an opinion. But it's like when you together to find common ground. And I think that's what's hard for people. I guess most people want to just make their way the holy ground way. And if nobody not following their exact way, then they don't want to be a part of nothing else. And that's where we get disrupted at. And that's how we can't lead. Because I don't say we got a solution. We just know some ways. We got some great ideas.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
This world is crazy, and the thing is, it's 2 ways, right? There's a right way and there's a wicked way.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a righteous way and there's a wicked way.
Yeah.
There's a righteous way of living and there's a wicked way of living. And when we sit back and we do the knowledge for ourselves, you know what I mean, we can see what we caught up in.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And what we need to be taken away from.
Yeah.
So I mean, like when we talk health, just the word health, right? And what makes a person healthy, right? Sometimes when you building, you talk about food. That's one angle of the square. What you consume and what you put in your body. Then you have your mental health, right? Then we learn where it's polarity in everything, right? So if you talking about physical health, you talking about mental health.
True.
When we talking about mental health, that goes into a whole nother science, right? Yeah. It's a whole, we all is mentally fucked up. Yeah. We mentally fucked up. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's why it'd be hard to find a solution, because we don't point to the object. You know what I mean? We don't point to what's actually we afraid. Yeah. And this type of fear been put in it. We scared. And niggas don't say, look, see, this the fitness podcast. That's why, you know what I mean? This the fitness podcast. People, this is the fitness podcast. This is not BU's revolutionary platform, all right? Go ahead, bro.
Nah, go ahead. You good. Listen. But all that that's what's produced, though, it's all through fitness. See, that's why we tell people when they say, oh, you got to be fit. Nah, this fitness it changed our life.
Actual
so we're expressing things, just regular, natural stuff, a part of us, our being, and just saying this fitness got me here through this part, this channel. Fitness was a channel I used to get me to this level of understanding of where I'm at, clarity, the mental health, the physical being, the spiritual being. Fitness just played a role in here. So fitness was just in the middle, and all around this in this circle, we had everything else that took place. Like I tell person, fitness just freed me from a life I was living. That's what it did. It freed me from looking at life one way to a whole new way. Even when I read a book, fitness helped me like consume that book different. So fitness, it put me in a direction to where like, get back on your road. You feel what you go on left, turn back around. Get back on that road, get back on that path. And it's created knowledge of what nobody, I don't care, you can be a lawyer, a doctor, a nurse, a gas station worker, a painter, anything. I don't care what your job, what your career, who you are, what you're doing. Fitness is important to everyone because it just creates the cornerstone of the health part for you to perform your duties at the ultimate level that you're able to do it by being healthy. So revolutionary, and to produce what you want to produce into the world, you have to be healthy. Not just mentally.
Actual fact.
You got to be physically. Your spiritual side got to be elevated. All them levels got to be intact for you to produce what you need to produce into this universe. That's like when a cop go out. We watch a cop when they get these jobs and they go to training, they be in a good shape. Catch them a year from now, 2 years. They fat as I don't know what, health issues. So you really not going to serve the community as good as that you would have if you would have stayed in shape like you was when you first left the academy. That's why they took you through that training for a reason, that vigorous training, 16 weeks or whatever, the running, the eating right, the this, the that, the this, the that. They took you through that for a reason. But once we get done, we forget about that. And it goes back to comfortability because you got your career now. So the hard work you put in, that you had to change mentally to fight that, to get through that, you let all that go out the window because now what you got? You got your family, you got the career that's going to pay you the check. Everything else is smooth selling. You don't care.
Damn, you know what you made me just think about? Remember when we was building, right? And you was like, B, all right, we took a hit. You took a hit. You probably lost some clients. You know what I mean? But you were still supposed to be there to nurture them. You know what I mean? Still supposed to be there when they going through this problem to train them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of things like when you just gave that analogy about the police, and I was just thinking, I'm like, damn, there's a lot of brothers that did probably have positive people in their life, but they wasn't consistent and keep continuously giving them that training. Yeah. So what happened? You fall off course. Yeah. You begin to eat the wrong food, think the wrong things. You lose your conditioning and training. So that was peace, bro.
Yeah. And that's what kept me always going though, because I always looked at who depended on me after the fact. Like, damn, if I close this door, if I walk away, damn, these people, man, they gonna go back to, you know what I'm saying? They depended on me. They fell in love with what we do. What's this going on? Like, they hold me accountable. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's like what we give to like the police officers, the firefighters, the nurses, the lawyers, the doctors, the nail tech, the hairdresser lady, whoever, male, female that do nail, I don't care. Whatever you are, whatever your choice is, this is for all of us because we each need to build each other. We tear each other down too much. We tear each other down on every level. We don't give no good inputs, you know what I mean? And sometimes our friends tear us down the worst because they'll applaud us for being unhealthy. They'll tell you look gooder than ever. You know what I'm saying? They applaud us for that. So it's a channel, it's a way now that we got to take hold of, and we're going to beat the community. Like we got mad things coming even for like the nurses, the police officers, the discounts that we're going to be offering for the firefighters and stuff like that. So it's going to be a whole path because they need this too. They need to protect our community. They need to run in that fire and be able to make it back out. The nurse need to go to work and be healthy for our family to get back home and take care of their kids, and they need to get back to that job every day healthy. The hair salon woman, she need to be able to get up every morning vibrant, healthy, feeling good, and able to go knock out some hairs and not be lethargic certain days and stuff like that. The nail tech lady need to feel the same way. The regular gas station guy need to feel the same way. He need to be rejuvenated. The warehouse worker need to feel the same way. The post office lady or man need to feel the same way. So we creating a path, an avenue that's building each one together to be stronger mentally, physically, spiritually. And that's how I feel we're going to make changes in our community if we take back control of ourselves first. Because what? We'll start teaching our kids something different. We'll start feeding our kids something different. Now they can start seeing a different picture, you know? And I think that'll be one of a great step to start is with ourselves and with a lot of political people in our communities. The councilwoman running, the mayor who run, any elected official should be some form in a physical shape capacity to be able to spread that energy, that good spirit, that goodwill into the universe to make change in their environment. And that's how I feel it should be. The police director, the chief, whoever is in line, they should lead by example and trigger it down in their offices.
It gotta be human contact.
Yeah.
It gotta be, you know what I mean? No, if somebody just was, if you met a person and they just like, I love you, and you never go through no type of experience, no trials, tribulations, you know what I mean? You don't know if that love is authentic.
Nah.
You know what I mean? So it's like those people that you mentioned, it have to be a lot. When you talking community growth and development, you know what I mean? That's a person intent have to be the love. I mean, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's beautiful, man. And not to take away, there's a lot of things that's taking place in Trenton. That's beautiful. I mean, so all we doing is opening up an avenue with letting brothers and sisters know that we, you know what I mean, we here for that righteous cause to unify with any brothers and sisters that's doing positive, because that's what it's about. It's about building, you know what I mean?
And that's all we're here for, man. And look, we're gonna close with that, and we're gonna leave out a couple of words for the day, man, because we feel that we gave enough, we gave a lot, and I think people gravitate and understand. We don't want to fill y'all with too much, and one, because we know when we be together, we could talk for a long time, right? We could really go in. But me, man, my words, man, build each other up, man. I'm talking about, I don't care how stressful you are or what person next to you that's struggling is going through something, don't tear them down. And definitely as men, we got to build each other up a lot more because we've been tore down from so many different directions. And we don't want to go home and be tore down. We don't want the next door neighbors to try to tear us down. So as men, we got to come, and I'm going to speak on this before I get that right. Last night, I went to an event. One of my good friends, his mom threw an event. We didn't know what it was. He just said, yo, my mom throwing an event, and she wanted me to reach out and say she wanted to come through. She going to cook and stuff for everybody. I don't know what the event is, but his mom, respect her, love her, you feel me? I go to the event. The event was for all men. Older set group of men, middle ages, we probably in our 40s, something in there. Then you had a little younger, they was in their 30s, not so younger than me, but they're in their 30s. So it was a nice balanced crowd. And she had somebody speak on courage. And through courage, everybody spoke on how they found courage through their pain and their struggles and what they was going through in life. And it was like, wow, because everybody had almost a similar twist of story, but you could feel the ups and downs from the older to the young. You could feel the energy. You could feel the remorse being poured out. You could feel why they want to change. Like, yo, I had to just find a way I didn't want to do this no more. This was not it. From a person, whether if they was getting high, whether they was selling drugs, whether they was robbing, whatever they was doing, it was a different group of people in there. You had some that didn't go to prison and that was in there, you get what I'm saying? And what made me realize after these group of men sung, right? The older gentleman said something, man, and it stuck with me. He said, yo, because one of the gentlemen said, he said, man, look at these young men, like, man, they healthy, they strong, look how they glowing. Mm-hmm. He said, this what need to be created out of it, but he don't know we into fitness, no nothing, because we didn't open our mouth yet, they talking. So they don't know nothing. Then one older guy, he like, man, so when we gave our stories, at the end, he like, yo, he said, man, y'all got me. He said, I thought all y'all was college students. He said, y'all couldn't tell me y'all ain't go to college the way y'all walked in here, how y'all was presenting yourself and how y'all carried y'all aura. He said everything. He said, bro, you couldn't tell me. He said, oh, we about to be sitting down with a lot of college kids who went to college. You know what I'm saying? And only one person was in that group went to college. So the balance, it was wonderful, man. It was like, it was something, it was a blessing, and like what she did was wonderful, and we thanked her. And that's what I'm talking about today, because it's about building each other up, brothers, sisters, whatever. Feel what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I be down, and I call one of my brothers all the time because they my outlets. But people call on me more than ever, and I be going through my own shit, and I gotta be so strong to even help them. And what I want to say is, man, let's come together, man, as a collective whole. Let's keep working together, man. I don't care what field you're in. You could be in the same field as me. I'm not hating. I'm not. The competing shit is just natural. That's regular life shit. That's I want you to win. I want to win. So we both trying to get to certain levels. So that's the regular, natural compete. That ain't nothing. I'm not talking down on you. I'm not against what you're doing. If I could build with you, I could build with you. And that's where I'm at with it. And I think all of us need to try to get to them levels, man. And that's where I think we will succeed at building our communities up. We will see less abandoned houses. We will see less killings.
You see how
we will see
when we roll through that crazy,
we will
right?
You know what I'm saying? we will see less of these things though if we all start trying to merge together and stop pulling each other apart, hating on each other, crushing each other, because one might got more than the other. So what? Work to get your shit together then. And that's that. And then don't talk down on a person who don't have it yet. That's all, man. That's how I feel. And I feel we have the time, the opportunity at 2022, moving forward, to actually make some real great changes in our environment and in our community. I know I'm doing all that I can do. I'm giving my all. I pour my all in this shit. Sometimes it causes a clash at my crib because, you know, this shit get rough. You know, but still, end of the day, my wife is like my greatest supporter, big blessing of everything. So, and it's just to keep going, man. And I just, me personally, this helped me get back in line. Like I always been talking the last couple of weeks, I'll be like, yo, I'm getting back to a state where I used to be. And people used to be like, oh, why you mentioning that? Because you was incarcerated then. I only use that because that's what helped me get free mentally. So in the world, when I walked out, I was free mentally. I've been free mentally a lot, but sometimes it's pulled away from me. I feel like that I'm stripped of it because the arguing or this or this or this badging because this or trying to be a good father. This not right. This. So now it's like I'm freeing myself, getting my body back healthy, tip-top shape. Always felt good, been good, a little bigger than what I was today. But I just know when I was at one certain weight and was muscular, I felt spectacular. My mind freed. I ain't care about nothing. And that's where I'm back at today. And that helps me now be more of a leader, be more of a better husband, be more of a better father. So I'm fighting to get back on them stages too, because I'm cleansing myself again. I'm going through a whole renewal of me. You feel what I'm saying, bro? And that's where now it helps me even build people up more. It helps me be there for my brother more, or whatever the case may be, and we pull each other up more like how we do. And I'm going to leave y'all with that, man. That's my note. Build each other up, man.
Yep,
Let's go.
Keep building, man. Build our mind, our body, and our soul, man, and our community. Y'all know we going to end it off?
Go ahead.
End it off. Y'all know I end off everything or begin everything with today's mathematics. Today's mathematics is being knowledge. The brother have knowledge. I have knowledge. 1 + 1 is 2. That's wisdom. It becomes supreme wisdom in motion. With that being said, y'all have a good Sunday. We'll see y'all next Sunday.